Welcome back to Better Kansas City. Now, there are times when we can all feel anxious, but in middle and high school, the need to fit in can be beyond or overwhelming. Child and family therapist Lisa Ruff is here with tips on how we can actually help our teens and tweens. This is such a big deal. I was telling you about my half-sister, and so much of it's just we don't want to fit in with everyone else.
Right, right. You know, whenever we have anxiety, we get stuck on these worry thoughts, and that is called rumination. And so we need to do something to get ourselves out of those worry thoughts. I love that you had an exercise segment, because exercise is one of the best things you can do. Having physical activity, changing your physical state helps change your mental state.
Okay, and then how do teens and tweens cut down on anxiety? And also, how do they recognize it? Because I think even as adults, it can be a challenging emotion to really say, this is what's going on with me. This is why I feel this way.
Right. You know, whenever they notice that they're having these worry thoughts, there are lots of different strategies you can use to help get rid of them. One of my favorites to use for teens and tweens is swiping away your worries. Just like you would swipe something off of your phone. Everyone can relate to that. And it's not something that we have to stay stuck on.
Well, sometimes it's just nice to take that clean slate, get rid of it, send it out into the universe someplace else.
Right, and you can replace it with a thought that makes you feel better. So if you're worrying about a test, instead of thinking, I might fail this algebra test, and then feeling worried, you might think something like, I've been studying all week, and I'm gonna do my best on this test, and that makes you feel better.
Well, I love what you're tapping into. It's sort of that positive approach of recognizing the things that we have done, so that way we can get rid of some of that anxiety.
Yes,
okay,
definitely.
And then how about staying connected during the winter months? Because right now we look outside, there's snow on the ground,
I know.
And that can be really tough.
Yes, even though we want to avoid the flu and viruses, it's important to get out and be connected. If you think about texting a friend or talking to them on the phone versus actually spending time with them, it's a lot better to actually be face-to-face. All of these great chemicals are released in our body when we're face-to-face. We have the mirror neurons, so we're empathizing with each other. And when I see your smile, I feed off that energy, and that makes me happy. So that in-person connection is really important.
And then what about parents who really need their children to open up? What are some ways that they can do that?
This one is going to sound so simple, but it is just being there. Just being there for your kids. A lot of times for teens and tweens, when they are coming home from school and we're asking, how was school? What did you do? We get, school was fine and nothing. I did nothing. So just being there in the evenings at the right times, being there for dinner, being there when they're doing homework, taking them out to all of the activities can really help out, because you get those thought downloads when you're not expecting them.
Right, and that makes so much sense. Now, how would we know if, as a parent, your child needed extra help?
If the worry and anxiety has gotten so big, it's affecting sleep or eating habits, grades or socialization, those sorts of things, then you know anxiety is big enough to get some help.
Well, Lisa, thank you so much. Of course, those are all great signs, and you give us so many awesome tips.
Thank you.